Orthodox Forum, written by Dr. Judy Blythe, it's about 100 pages on the movement within Reform to do away with slichos and to shorten the shul service as a way of increasing decorum in shuls. We have a couple hundred years since then, and we know what the result was. The answer is not that the question is not whether the siddur is too long. The question is whether people really put their lathe and the neshama into davening. That's the challenge to us. It's not shortening the siddur. The Yom Tov Sheni, unfortunately, I think that is just in this quote. That's not what the Gemara says. The Gemara, Beya Hamid Aleph Hamid Beis, says that the Chachamim understood that they no longer were required to keep the second day of Yom Tov, and deliberately in this instance alone, for reasons I admit I don't fully understand, but the Gemara says, in this instance, sent out messengers to communities and said, you have the right to drop it, please do not. What they meant, whether they meant like the Arizal held, that we need a second day to feel that Kedusha, I have no problem, I would have no problem with a 3-day Yom Tov. A Yom Tov is the kind that many of us have in this community, with guests at the table, with their families there, with Divrei Torah, centered around the lessons of the Yom Tov, not just the halacha, but that's when after all the halacha is fulfilled, you sit down and talk about what the Yom Tov represents. If the Rebbe Shalom comes to us and tells us, I want 7 days from now on, I will have no objection. Shechita remains, I believe, the most humane way of killing an animal. I've seen the other way. I've gone to slaughterhouses and watched as the guy stood there with his snub-nosed pistol and missed. And then missed again. And then missed again. Shechita does not pledge to eliminate all pain. It pledges to eliminate unnecessary pain. Are there things in the preparation of the animals and the way the animals could be handled and hoisted and all that where we could use some upbraiding? Yes, and the OU was upbraided and the OU reacted. And there's still room. Veal, Rav Moshe agrees with you. And I know lots of from Jews who will not eat veal based on Rav Moshe's son. He said, if that is the Messias and that's the way they grow veal, one should not eat veal. As far as, I'm getting to the end, as far as addressing your neighbors, that's the simplest one, Dennis. You meet obnoxious Orthodox Jews in the street. It has nothing to do with Orthodoxy. They are New Yorkers. Ultimately, I will say that despite disagreeing with every specific example that Dennis gave, I do accept his premise that if there are people who every now and then lose sight of what's behind the halacha, of those values, that's a serious problem. And we find today various movements in Yiddishkeit to bring people back to those values and those core beliefs, whether it's the upsurge of Limud Torah for women, whether it's learning the shalom that seems to touch the heartstrings of so many people in Klal Yisrael today. You are 100% right. It belongs in the curriculum at every stage. It's what we should be speaking to our children at the Shabbos table. I will leave you, though, with one last thought, not addressing specifically what Dennis said. We look around, and I'm sure Dennis will have more criticism for us. And there's lots to criticize. When David HaMelech brought the Aron into Yerushalayim, the most happy phase in the history of Klal Yisrael and one of the most tragic. Uzzah saw the Aron with the luchos, with the tablets, apparently ready to totter and fall. And he reached out to support it and save it. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu struck him dead on the spot. If you would have asked me, I would have told the Rebbe Shalom maybe consider substituting Ahmadinejad instead. The Gemara says Uzzah should have realized that the Aron can support itself. It even listed the people across the Yarden, across the Jordan when they crossed. Certainly the Aron can support itself. And I was always troubled. So he made a little bit of a mistake. For that, he deserves to die. Rav Kook said, beautifully and pointedly, he said, some people see the Torah tottering. They see the Torah tottering, and they think that there's something wrong with the Torah, and the Torah is ready to fall. The mistake is it's not the Torah. It's the vehicle that carries it. Torah is perfect and will remain perfect. We are imperfect vehicles, and indeed should listen to Dennis to become more perfect.